The last 11 days have been the trip of a lifetime. Like nothing I've ever experienced before in my life and might never experience again. We flew into Venice 11 days ago, rented a car and drove 2.5 hours into the Dolomites in Italy. Now hiking and sightseeing and being a bit off grid has been something that's never really appealed to me. I've never even really thought about doing. Started seeing it more and more on social media and I was like, fuck it, why not? Like I can go and do that. I'm in a fortunate enough position to go and do that. And it's fair enough to say that I just want to go everywhere now. And we're going to make that happen. But regardless, welcome to a new series I'm going to do on my channel, documenting and talking about my honest experiences traveling the world at 23 years old, in my 20s. I want these videos to be more raw and the whole point when I started posting videos 2 years ago was to document my journey and inspire other people to, chase their dreams, find other ways outside of the norm of just working a 9 to 5. And as you can see right now, we're at Lago di Sorapis in the Dolomites in Italy. And on the hike here, it was a pretty big hike. The sort of idea just came to my mind. Probably got these videos titled exactly, just documenting my honest experiences traveling the world in my 20s. I wrote it down in my notes and I'm going to film this at this lake, and every place that I travel to, I'm going to document and share this with you guys. Obviously I'll do vlogs and stuff, but it's such a cool thing being able to do this so young with the opportunities that we've got to be able to make money on the go and not really have to give up or risk a lot at the start to be able to do so. Like you can learn one skill, pay to learn that skill once, that skill will make you money for the rest of your life. For me, that was sales and marketing. But regardless, this will be the Dolomites edition of the little series that I'll do, documenting my travels, documenting my life. And my honest experience, like, it has been breathtaking, but it's also been like very, very eye-opening in like a lot of different ways. I often think back to when I was working construction, and as I said, like none of doing any of this stuff ever like appealed to me. I never even really thought of doing it because it's, Italy's the other side of the world. A lot of these big hikes are very far away. And, if I'm going to have a few weeks off working construction and use my annual leave, I want to go to Bali and get pissed. That was like my idea of going on a holiday. But it's been eye-opening in that sense that so many people, it never even crosses their mind to like see this side of the world, bro. Like, this is like, it honestly just makes me sad thinking that people, my parents, have never seen stuff like this in their life because of just the way society is and the way the world is. You're sort of expected from a young age to just fall into a job and start building a career that way. And I'm not even shitting on that at all. There's definitely some very lucrative careers out there, but I also know like a lot of people sort of fall into these careers, and that was me. I sort of fell into a carpentry apprenticeship. I was no good at school. It wasn't something that I was that passionate about, and like, to be honest, it did scare me that like I was going to be 50 or 60 years and still a carpenter. I think about things like a bit differently than probably like the normal person, and it really like unsettles me, the thought that we only have one life. And when I was working construction, I'm like, I cannot spend 5 days of the week just to get 2 days off for the rest of my fucking life to get a few years off in retirement. That was something that really unsettled me, and obviously like something that really pushed me to take risks in my 20s to be able to do this. But that was like my first takeaway from this trip. I've never done anything like this, seeing like the fucking mountains and like seeing like the lake and the hikes and like all the different shit that we saw, man. I've said it numerous times, but it just didn't seem real. And it's just crazy like how this stuff created and how it came about. And yeah, like that was like a really, really eye-opening thing to me. And I feel like it's something I wish like everyone could experience what I've experienced the last 10 or 11 days, like really seeing the world, how quiet and peaceful it is. You can actually think here, you can breathe. There's not, I guess, like bad energy. Like, you can hear the birds chirping. Everyone's sort of going about their days and everyone's happy and experiencing the world too. And it's just a really, really good environment to be in. But yeah, I think the other thing as well that, I'm ready for, and as amazing as the last, 2 or 1.5, 2 weeks has been, is like I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go back and work. And I think that's a really cool thing as well. Like I haven't done a lot of travel for probably six or so months, and sort of just like getting up and doing the same thing every day and working, it does get stale. And obviously a big reason why I got into this was travel. And there's a drone above me. But yeah, a big reason I got into this was travel, and I've sort of been able to go and do that now. And I think, wanting to go home and work and build your life and build more of these experiences is what life's all about, like that fulfillment, that purpose, that drive towards work. Whereas, you know, I went on one holiday when I was an apprentice carpenter. I was a fourth year. I went to Bali for 2 weeks, and the whole 2 weeks I was thinking about how shit it's going to be going back to work in 2 weeks. Like, you couldn't even experience the holiday because you just think about, oh, I've used all this annual leave, oh, money, you know, if I spend too much money I'm going to be back at square one, oh, I've got to go back to work in 2 weeks, and you're not living in the moment, you're like living in dread. Whereas like when, you know, I work hard for 3 to 6 months and then I get to experience something like this, I'm ready to go home and work and build the next adventure, build the next experience and things that I want to achieve. So I'm like ready to go home and work, which I think is something that, I think that is like almost the point of life. It doesn't matter whether you're working a 9 to 5 job or you're doing something online or you're doing anything. When it doesn't feel like work and you're working for the life that you want to live, that to me is the whole point of life. So they were like the main 2 takeaways for me. This is something that I wish everyone could experience, and the truth is you haven't got a big window to experience something like this. Like a lot of the hikes we did were quite challenging, and we're, you know, fit young guys in our 20s, so you're not going to be able to do this, you know, sort of thing in retirement when you're 60 or 70 years old. So you've got to, you know, people always say to themselves, oh, I've got time, I've got to wait for the right time to go on this trip or to take that risk, or, you know, whatever it may be. But stuff like this where you've got to trek pretty hectic places, you're not going to be able to do when you're 60 or 70, man. And yeah, just the peace and the serenity is something that I wish more people could feel, because I feel like the world would sort of follow suit. Like, it's a weird thing to say and it probably sounds a bit hippie or something, but it is so peaceful here, man. Like the nature, and my head has never been more clear than just being here, just walking around. There's no bullshit, there's no, you know, propaganda on the news, there's no fucking people with blue hair, there's no woke bullshit. Everyone is happy and bright and experiencing the world, and that's all they care about. And then, you know, we're the same, because everyone, you know, in the areas that we've been staying in are all so happy because they're experiencing the world, they're making memories. So it's like just this flow-on effect of everyone's just worrying about their own life, everyone's happy, everyone's bright. You know, you haven't got to worry about who's going to be the next fucking prime minister or anything like that, or taxes or this or that. It's just the clearest my head has ever been for a very long time. And obviously detaching yourself from this thing for, you know, a couple of weeks. Obviously I pretty much live on this thing, it's my living, but even detaching myself off this and just sitting in places like this, listening to the birds chirp, like it's really reset everything. And I'm ready just to go home, work hard as fuck, and, you know, create the next experience. So for anyone watching this right now, you know, definitely, I hope, you know, this series is quite cool, getting to document it for you guys. Obviously you guys getting to see, I feel like I want you guys to live this through me, but not just live it through me and go, oh, he's so lucky, he's got such a good life. I want you guys to go out and chase it too. To wrap up from this video, like my honest experience from the Dolomites and Italy, and just like hiking and being in nature in general, compared to like, you know, more beaches and pubs and a lot of the holidays that I've gone on in the past. Something I think everyone needs to experience, and experience as soon as possible, because I feel like I've never had more clarity in my life about where I want to go, what I want to achieve, what I want to do for my family, what I want them to experience, than detaching myself from everything for the last 10 or 11 days, spending it in nature, seeing stuff that's just like doesn't even seem real. And that has got me into, yeah, the clearest mind state of my life. And I just know bigger things are around the corner, because now I've got even more of a reason to push. Because, yeah, like, as I said, like, I want you guys to experience this. Imagine how much I want my brother to experience this, his daughter to experience this, my mum and dad to experience this before they get too old. So there is more motivation than ever. But yeah, man, for all of you, I would chase doing something like this, especially like in a foreign country like Italy. Like, yeah, you can do hikes and stuff in Australia, but like actually going somewhere else and, you know, meeting heaps of different cultures of people and seeing different places in the world that not many people honestly get to see. Let me know like what you think about this series down below. We'll be doing one for like every country, every city that we visit. Hope you enjoyed. Look at the fucking scenes on it.